Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have seen the basic definitions: random experiment, event, and then simple and complex events, then mutually exclusive events or mutually disjoint events, equally likely, and collectively exhaustive outcomes. We have seen so many definitions to define the classical definition of the probability. Now, on coming to the classical definition of probability, the definition is: in a random experiment, let there be n mutually disjoint, equally likely, and collectively exhaustive outcomes. And out of n events, m events are favorable for the event A to happen. Then the probability of the event A to happen is denoted by P of A and is defined as P of A is equal to favorable number of cases by exhaustive number of cases. Exhaustive means total outcomes. So already we have discussed in the previous class the random experiment. Random experiment means an experiment whose outcomes are unpredictable is known as random experiment. So tossing of a coin is a random experiment. When we toss a coin, we know the outcomes. Which one is the possible outcome in the given situation we cannot expect. We know that whether it may be head or tail. But which one is the possible outcome in the given situation we cannot expect. So the experiment is known as the random experiment. The experiment, the outcomes are unpredictable are known as the random experiment. Similarly, in throwing a dice, so we know that the dice having 6 faces. So numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know the beforehand which one is the possible outcomes we cannot expect. That experiment is also known as the random experiment. So here I am going to define the probability as: in a random experiment there are n events and all the n events are mutually exclusive, equally likely, and exhaustive outcomes. Exhaustive means total outcomes. And out of n, m are favorable for the event A to happen. Then the probability of the event A to happen is defined as P of A is equal to favorable number of cases by exhaustive number of cases, and which is equal to total outcomes n. It will be in the denominator. In numerator, favorable cases are m. So P of A is equal to m by n. So the P of A is also denoted by small p, that is equal to m by n. So next is the probability of not happening of the event A. So if A is the event, A is the event, then A complement, then we denote it as A bar. A bar is the not happening of event A. So then P of A bar, what P of A bar? So total number of events are n, m are favorable, so n minus m are not favorable. Am I right? Total events are n events and m are favorable. If m are favorable, then the non-favorable events are n minus m. So here also the formula is same: favorable number of cases by exhaustive number of cases. The denominator will be the same, the total number of cases, and these are the favorable cases, favorable number of cases. These are the non-favorable cases, non-favorable cases. Here A complement is nothing but the event that do not happen, the event A. So that is n minus m. So this I can write it as n by n minus m by n, or 1 minus m by n. But what is m by n? But P of A is equal to m by n. So P of A complement can be written as 1 minus P of A. P of A complement means the probability of not happening of the event A is P of A bar is equal to 1 minus P of A, and P of A bar is denoted by small q, and P of A is denoted by small p. So I can write the same thing as q is equal to 1 minus p. This is the non-happening probability. This is the happening probability. Q is equal to 1 minus p, or I can write p plus q is equal to 1. That means what? The sum of the happening probability and non-happening probability is equal to 1. That is P plus Q is equal to, note. So we have from the definition of probability, the probability of the event A to happen is equal to small m by small n, which is the favorable number of cases by total number of cases or exhaustive number of cases. Exhaustive number of cases or total number of cases. Suppose if there are not even one favorable case, suppose if A is the event and to happen the event that there is not even one favorable case, that means all are non-favorable cases, and m is equal to 0, favorable number of cases 0, then what will become the probability? See this, P of A is equal to 0 by n, so this is equal to 0. There is not even one favorable case for the event A to happen, then the numerator m is equal to 0. Then P of A is equal to 0. In this case, the event A is called impossible event. Impossible. This never happens because all are unfavorable cases. There is not even one favorable case. In this case, we say that the event A is called impossible event. Similarly, if all are favorable cases, if total m is equal to n, if all are favorable for the event A to happen, so if అన్ని కనుక favorable అయితే the probability of A is equal to n by n. So m is replaced by n by n is equal to 1. And the probability of A is equal to 1. In this case, the event A is called sure or certain event. Sure or certain event. అంటే ఖచ్చితంగా జరుగుతుంది. 100% it will happen. This is 0% happens. This is impossible event. This is the impossible event A to happen. So here, this is sure event when P of A is equal to 1 and P of A 0, then A is called the impossible event. And always, and also another remark is, the probability always lies between the 0 and 1. Probability of A always lies between, any probability lies between 0 and 1. It never exceeds 1 and it never less than 0. So now we see the problems on classical definition of the probability. So see the first problem. What is the probability that a leap year selected at random to have 53 Sundays? A leap year selected at random to have 53 Sundays. A leap year selected at random, that I will write here, selected at random to have 53 Sundays. So we know that a leap year consisting of 366 days. So 366 days means 52 weeks. Am I right? 52 weeks means 52 into 7. 7 2s are 14, 7 5s are 35, plus 1 36. 364 days plus 2 extra days. So in 366 days, there are 52 full weeks plus 2 extra days. So 52 weeks means what it means? There exist 52 Sundays. We have to find the probability of having 53 Sundays in a leap year. So already there exist 52 full weeks. That means there exist 52 Sundays automatically. There exist 52 Sundays obviously. Now we have to see for another Sunday. We are required to have 53 Sundays. Already 52 Sundays already come because it is 52 weeks. Now we have to see for one Sunday. So there are 2 extra days. These 2 extra days may be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. These 2 extra days may be. The 2 days may be Sunday, Monday, or Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So there are 7 possibilities. The 2 extra days may be either Sunday, Monday, successive days. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. So out of all these 7 outcomes, the favorable of getting Sunday రావాలంటే the first and last are favorable to have Sundays. The first is Sunday, Monday. So in this you will have one Sunday. Or the last one, if the 2 days are Saturday, Sunday, then you will have Sunday. So the favorable, what we know that the probability of the event A to happen is favorable number of cases by total number of cases. Already 52 Sundays already existing. So we are seeing for only another one Sunday. So one Sunday can be get out of 7 2 outcomes. So the favorable cases are 2. The total number of cases are 7. Here favorable number of cases are 2 and total number of cases are 7. So which is the required probability. So here we have to use the formula m by n. M by n is the formula for finding the probability. When the events are mutually exclusive, equally likely and exhaustive outcomes. Here all will satisfy. The events are mutually exclusive because Sunday, Monday వచ్చిందనుకోండి ఈ రెండు వచ్చేదానికి హ్యాపెన్స్ లేదు, ఈ రెండు రావడానికి హ్యాపెనింగ్ లేదు. దట్ మీన్స్ ఆల్ ద 7 events are mutually exclusive. So mutually exclusive means only one thing will happen, other will not happen at the same time. So that means mutually disjoint. And equally likely means all are having the same chance to get, the 7 chances are equally likely, the same possibility. The day may be Sunday, Monday or Monday, Tuesday, same probability, same chance to get all the 7 cases. That means equally likely. And total outcomes are 7. So if it follows the required definition, then we can write the probability by classical definition, favorable number of cases by total number of cases. Now see the second problem. 2 cards are drawn, 2 cards are selected at random from 10, each numbered 1 to 10. Find the probability that the sum is odd if 2 cards are drawn. Second, with 2 cards are drawn one after another with replacement. Third one, 2 cards are drawn one after another without replacement. So we have to draw 2 cards and each is numbered from 1 to 10. 1 to 10 nice out. So see the first way. So there are 10 cards, each numbered with 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, so on, 10. So I can draw 2 cards from 10 cards in 10C2 ways. You can draw 2 cards from 10 cards in 10C2 ways. 10C2 means what? 10 into 9 by 2 into 1. That is equal to 2 5s are 10. So 9 5s are 45. So therefore, the total number of cases or exhaustive number of cases is equal to 45. The exhaustive number of cases are total number of cases, both are same. So that is equal to 45. Now we have to see the favorable number of cases. So favorable number of cases means in this example the total number of cases are 45 because it is 10C2. 10C2 it is 45. 2 cards are drawn. 2 cards are drawn, the sum should be odd. So odd ravalante, so one is from odd number and one is from even number. Then only you will get an odd number. Sum is odd. Suppose if the first number may have to come from 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and second card has to come from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then only the sum is odd. Suppose if I select 1 from the first one and 2 from, this is 1 plus 2, 3, 1 plus 4, 5, 1 plus 6, 7, 1 plus 8, 9, 1 plus 10, 11. So all are odd numbers. Similarly 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 3, 8, 3, 10. So if you want to get sum is odd, you have to get from one number from odd number set and one from even number set. So the number of ways of choosing one card from 5 cards is, now I am calculating the favorable number of cases. So the number of ways of getting one card from the first set, that is 5C1. Similarly, the number of ways of getting one card from the second set, that is also 5C1. So 5C1, NC1 is N, so 5C1 5 and 5C1 5, that is equal to 25. So the description has to be written as favorable cases and total number of cases. Therefore, the required probability. What is the required probability? Favorable number of cases by exhaustive number of cases. So here favorable number of cases are 25 and exhaustive number of cases are 45. Total case 45. That should come in the denominator and favorable cases in the numerator. 25, 5 5s and 5 9s. So the required probability is 5 by 9. So here our aim is to get the sum is odd numbers. Some odd number means one should come from odd number and one from even number. Then only we will get the sum is equal to odd. So the favorable cases will become 5C1 into 5C. Clear? Now see the second one, second bit. Two cards are drawn one after another with replacement. One after another with replacement. Two cards another with replacement. Here the total number of cases. Total number of cases are exhaustive number of cases. Both are same. Exhaustive means total outcomes. So one after another with replacement. So I can draw one card from 10 cards in 10C1 ways. I can get one card from 10 cards in 10C1 ways. Into, so on replaced the card again, the number of cards will same. Suppose total we have 10 cards in this bag. So one card is selected at random and we replace it. That means then again the box will contain 10 cards. Now the number of ways of getting another one card is 10C1, that is 10 into 10, that is equal to 100. That is the exhaustive number of cases or favorable number of cases. Now two cards are drawn one after another with replacement. We have to find the favorable number of cases. The denominator part already got it, already the value is 100. Now we have to find the favorable number of cases. So in favorable number of cases we have to choose one after another. So one after another means, so first card, so see all the possibilities. Just I will see here favorable cases. I am seeing all the cases. Favorable cases means the first one is 1 and the second one is 2. First one is 1 and second one is 4. Then only the sum is odd. 1 2, 1 4 and 1 6, 1 8, 1 10. The sum is equal to odd. First card 1 and the second card should be 2. Then 1 plus 2, 3. And like 1 4, 1 6, 1 8, 1 10. So starting with 2, 2 1, 2 3, 2 5, 2 7 and 2 9. The sum is equal to odd. Similarly, starting with 3, 3 2, 3 4, 3 6, 3 8, 3 8, 3 10. The sum is odd. For each case we will get 5 favorable cases. So on. What is the last one? With the 10, 10 1. 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. 10 plus 3, 13. 10 plus 5, 15. 10 plus 7, 17. 10 plus 9, 19. So how many favorable cases? Each time 5. With 1 there exist 5 cases. With 2 there exist 5 cases, favorable cases. So each time 5 means 10 into 5, 50. So that I can write it as 50 favorable cases. Favorable number of cases are 50. Therefore, the required probability is equal to favorable number of cases by total number of cases, that is 50 by 100, that is equal to 1 by 2. The third bit is, so two cards are drawn one after another without replacement. You have to find the sum is odd. So sum odd avali, cards matuku without replacement. Without replacement what? So we have to not replace the previous card. So here the total number of cases or exhaustive number of outcomes is equal to, so first 10 cards, from 10 cards one card can get in 10C1 ways. So if the card is not replaced, there exist only 9 cards. So now the number of ways of getting one card from 9 cards is 9C1. Our aim is to have to draw 2 cards, one after another, without replacement. Without replacement means first there exist 10 cards. The number of ways of getting one card from 10 cards is 10C1 ways. So if the card is not replaced in the box, there exists only 9 cards, and one card can get in 9C1 ways. So the total number of ways or exhaustive number of ways are 10C1, that is 10, and 9C1 is equal to 9, that is equal to 90. Clear? Now we have to find the favorable number of cases. So favorable number of cases means we have to find all the cases. First, if I draw 1, then the second card can be drawn as 3. 1 plus 3, 4, sorry. 1 plus 2, 3, odd number. Similarly, 1 plus 1, 4. 1, 6. 1, 8. 1, 10. Here, we are not again selecting 1 in all the cases. If I draw in the first card as 1, the second card may be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, which are all different from 1. That means in the previous case, same last one, 10, 1, 11, 10, 3, 13, 10, 5, 15, 10, 7, 17, 10, 9, 19. So the favorable cases, like in the previous case, the favorable cases are 50. There is no change. Even we are replacing or not replacing, there is no change in the favorable number of cases. So therefore, here the required probability is equal to favorable number of cases by exhaustive number of cases. So that is 50 by 90, that is equal to 5 by 9, which is the required probability. Next problem, 3 coins are tossed. Find the probability of getting at least one head. At least means minimum one head. And second one is 2 heads. Third one is 3 heads. And fourth one is no heads. So we have to find the probability in all the 4 cases. So 3 coins are tossed. So three coins are tossed. The sample space containing 8 points, 2 cube. 2 cube means 8. If there exists only one coin tossed, we will get 2 cases, head to tail. If you toss 2 coins, we will get 4 cases. What are the 4 cases? Head to tail, tail head, 2 heads, both are tails. If you toss 3 coins, then the sample space containing H, T, 8 points. So see what are those 8 points? H, T, H, T, H. So see the sample space. The total number of sample points in this sample space is 8. So I can write in symmetric order. I will write. So first consider all the H's, 3 H's. 3 H's, 3 coins are having 3 heads. Then head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head. So another one. T, H, T, H, T, and all these. These are all the favorable possible cases. If you draw 3 coins, if you toss 3 coins, then the possible outcomes, 3 may be heads, 2 heads and 1 tail. First one head, second one tail, third one head. First one tail, head to head. So these are all the total outcomes. 2 cube is equal to 8. So what is the first one? So here the favorable total number of cases, exhaustive number of cases is equal to 2 cube is equal to 8. Now see the first one. This is common for all problems, for all the 4 problems. So one head, the probability of getting one head. So one head means, the probability of getting one head means, so one head cases. These are the sample points. One head means TTH, THT, at least one head, sorry, not one head, the probability of getting at least one head. So here we will get at least one head means what? So minimum one head undali. At least one head means minimum one head. Two heads undachu, three undachu, all the three may be heads. So the probability of getting one head is, or at least one head is H and the sample points. And what is the another one? Double HT, HTH, THH, or TTH, THT, HTT. So except the last one, you will get all come under this case. So the number of sample points are 7, and total number of points are 8. So the required probability is equal to 7 by 8. Probability of getting at least one head, or you can write the same problem as probability of getting at least one head is equal to 1 minus the probability of getting no head. You can write in this way also. No head means only one case, TTT, that is 1 out of 8. So 1 minus 1 by 8 is 7 by 8. So you can write the answer in the first model or second model, both are acceptable. You can choose any one of them. So now I'm coming to the second one, at least two heads. So at least two heads, the probability of getting at least two heads. The probability of getting at least two heads. At least two heads means minimum two heads. Minimum two heads means the sample space containing the favorable number of cases. The favorable number, here I can write the favorable number of cases by total number of cases, m by n. In general we write m by n. So n is already 8 because it is 2 cube. 2 cube is equal to 8. So now we have to estimate the favorable number of cases. At least two heads means head, two H's and one tail, HTH, HHT, and the favorable number of cases are 4. So that is 4 by 8, that is equal to 1 by 2. So next, the probability of getting at least three heads. At least three heads. So what are the favorable cases? At least three heads, only one case out of 8. So that is 1 by 8 is the required probability. The probability of getting at least three heads, minimum three heads. Minimum three heads means all the points having to show head. So one possible outcome out of 8 outcomes, that is 1 by 8. And the last one is the probability of having no heads. So no heads means only one case. All will be the tails. So favorable case 1 and the total number of cases is 8. So that is also 1 by 8, which is the required probability. Next problem, a bag contains 3 red, 6 white and 7 blue balls. What is the probability that 2 balls drawn are white and blue? So here the total number of balls, 3 plus 6 plus 7, 3 red, 6 white, 7 blue balls. So 7 plus 3, 10 plus 6, 16 balls. So this is the favorable, so the favorable total number of cases. Total number of cases are exhaustive number of cases, both are same. The exhaustive number of cases are 16C2. The number of ways of getting 2 balls out of 16 in 16C2 ways, that is 16C2. The value is 16 into 15 by 2 into 1. So 2 8s are 16, 15 8s are 120. So 120 ways, that is the exhaustive number of cases. It will become in the denominator. Now the favorable number of cases. What is the favorable number of cases? Here we have to get, one is white ball and one is blue ball. We are drawing 2 balls, one should be white and one should be blue. The total number of white balls in the box is 6 white balls. The number of ways of getting one white ball from 6 in 6C1 ways. Similarly, the number of ways of getting one blue ball from 7 blue balls in 7C1 ways. That is equal to 6 ways. 6C1 means 6 ways and 7C1 means 7 ways. The number of ways of getting one white ball from 6 white balls in 6C1 ways. NC1 is n, so 6 ways. Similarly 7C1, that is equal to 7 ways. Therefore by counting principle, By counting principle, how we can write 6C1 into 7C1. The number of ways of getting one white ball and one blue ball. One white and one blue, that is m into n ways. 6C1 into 7C1, that is 6 into 7, that is equal to 42. So we reached the two outcomes, favorable cases, total number of cases. So therefore, the required probability is equal to favorable number of cases by total number of cases. What are the favorable cases? 42, and the total number of cases are 120. So 6 sevens are 42, 6 20s 120. So the required probability is equal to 7 by 20, which is the required solution.